Well, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, and good evening, everybody. This is the Raheen Ashimi Show. I'm your host, question asker, Raheen Ashimi out of Atlanta, Georgia. We got a great broadcast. Now, normally at this time, we do real men being men. Not going to do that. Going to switch it up a little bit tonight. We're going to do the Raheen Ashimi Show. We got a question that we're going to ask the fellas, and there may be a lady or two that may call in as well to address from the other side, their standpoint as to how they feel about it. But before we go another step further, I got to say good morning, good evening to my brother from another mother. But we got those same father. This is Mr. Joseph. Good morning, Joseph. Good evening, Joseph. How you doing today? I'm so used to saying morning.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Joseph, I got a question to ask you,
Good
brother.
evening.
I got a question to ask you, and this is what we're gonna talk about
Okay.
today. And you can handle this from where you are now, a younger you, teenage you, young adult you, or seasoned adult as you are right now. What question, one question that you would think of, what is the one question that you would want to ask ladies, a female, your significant other, if you will, if you knew that it would not lead to an argument? You could ask her this question and she would give you the answer without it leading to an argument. What is the one question that you would like to ask a lady that you know would not lead to an argument, but you want to know the answer to?
Oh, boy, that's a hard one, Raheen. Oh, the one leads to an argument.
Yes. Because now you know some question, man.
Um,
We gotta hold back a little bit, brother. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Woo! We certain questions we can't ask. Brother. You
uh,
know what it is.
okay, so it'll be, um, who was it that really captured your heart, and do you still have any kind of feelings for it?
Mm.
Can you be honest enough to talk about it?
Yeah, yeah. And so let me ask you this. And now we're talking brother to brother. What is the basis of that particular question?
Well, I want to know if her heart is completely over that particular person,
Mm-hmm.
or if she still harbors feelings for that person. Now, once when I was young, I dated this girl, and I was really crazy about this girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I go over her house every day, man. And she had moved to my side of town, but she told me she had another lover on the other side of town,
Mm.
but that they were no longer, they weren't seeing each other no more, and she was through with him.
Yeah, yeah.
And we were dating and went on for quite a period of time. And one day, a strange fella shows up, and I thought he was just a friend of her brother.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it turns out that was her old fling. Well,
Wow.
I had to go back to the house for something, and I came back, and they had gone into her room, and I just happened to open the door, and there they were kissing and stuff, man. And I
Mm.
was, ooh, boy, I was crushed.
Wow. Wow. So
But I was like, I wasn't no more than about 13 years old, but
mm-hmm.
I was. And she was one of the oldest girls I've ever dated at that time. I
Mm-hmm.
was really in love with that chick, man.
Wow. So is that question and I'm the question asking. So work with me a little bit here. And we got Rico, he's coming in. I think he's having some difficulties with his feed, but he should be in just a second or two. But do you think is that question based on competition? Who's my competition? Do I have any competition? Or
Yeah,
are we in this thing together?
yeah, yeah. That was based on competition. I mean, you might think that you're the only one, but there might be some things that she might harbor in the back of her mind that
Mm-hmm.
hey, he does things better than you,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
or you all right.
Mm-hmm.
But he has some magic that you ain't got.
Mm. Wow. Wow. And so if you were to ask that question beforehand, if you were to ask her that question beforehand, do you think you would have gotten honesty?
Now that I don't know, but I doubt if it ever be an argument though.
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, not from her perspective. I mean, might tell you one thing, but in the back of her mind, she's like, I can't tell him
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that. Or she might be like, boy, if only he knew.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So what?
But then that might go two ways though.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because I might, I might have a whole fling too who, she has some magic that, the girl I'm talking to didn't have or something.
Mhm. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
could go both ways.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
What do the ladies have to say about it?
I'm hoping we could get a few ladies in here. There we go. We got Rico in here, got Ryan in here as well. Let me go to Rico, and like I said, gentlemen, I wasn't sure who all I was gonna have tonight. So what we're doing instead of doing the real men being men, we're doing the Raheen Ashimi show right now, and we're gonna be here for an hour. We may stay a little longer, but that was a game plan. But we got a question, and I want to hear y'all hard on this right here, man. And hopefully, we're gonna get a couple of ladies to call in and tune in and discuss this with us as well. Rico, how's your sound, brother? You sound good?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, good, good, good. Rico, what is now? You can ask this question, answer this question from any angle, back in the past, present, or any time between. But what is the one question? What is the one question, Rico, that a young Rico or present day Rico would like to ask a young lady that you can ask this question knowing that there will be no argument? Because there are certain questions we can't ask women because it's going to lead to an argument. If we ask certain questions, we know what a lot of them are. But as a man, Rico, what is the one question that you would like to ask a lady if you knew that it would not lead to an argument?
If I knew it wouldn't lead to an argument,
Yes, yes. If you knew, I can ask you had to look. Can I ask you this question? You're talking to the young lady. Can I ask you this question? I don't want to argue. I don't want to argue. I don't want it to lead to an argument. Can we establish that from the beginning? And they tell you yes, and you believe their yes, and you say, okay, I'm gonna ask you this question. And then what is that question you pop on her at that time that you
oh
know would not
man,
lead to an argument?
the easiest question gonna be what you want me to get for you?
Mm.
That's it.
What?
You ain't gonna get no argument when you ask them what you want me to get for you. What you want?
Yeah.
It's
Mm-hmm.
all on me,
Yeah.
man. You ain't gonna get no argument.
Okay. Now, hold on. It's a question. Now, this could be. I want this to be a question that men has been wanting to ask women for a long time, but never asked the question because I know if I ask her that question, man, we're gonna end up arguing and all kind of stuff and all this and all that and fussing. No, no. But this is the day you have fair game. You have the field is open and you can ask any question that you want to ask, that you really want to know the answer to. What would that question be?
I mean, but it sounds like you asking me a question that I know gonna get an argument.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
No, no, no,
if
no, 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 no. It's a question. It's a question that you've been wanting to ask. You've been wanting to ask women probably for a long time. But if you ask the question, man, this question right here is gonna lead to an argument. These women gonna go off on me, man, for asking this question. But I really want to know the answer to the question. I really want to know the answer. What is that question? I see Ryan up there. I
man,
see Ryan up there jumping up and down, boy.
I'm gonna
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I'm gonna just say, am I the best boyfriend you ever had or something? I guess I don't know,
Hmm.
man.
Hmm.
Um,
Wow.
I'm trying to actually put two and two together on how you phrasing that, but I don't know. I might get a different idea as you talk a little bit.
Mhm. Okay, good deal, good deal. Ryan, good evening to you as well, brother. What is
Good
you
evening.
can ask one you can ask yeah, exactly. You can ask one question. You can ask this one question that you've been wanting to know the answer to for a long time. But if I ask this question, man, we're gonna end up arguing, fussing, and all kind of stuff, man. But you get on this day, you get a pass. You can ask the question. Ryan, what is that question?
Hey, might be a little different because she's sitting right there. I ain't worried about what she gonna say. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You getting feedback off my mic?
A little
Yeah,
bit.
a
A
little
little
bit,
bit.
yeah.
I need to switch to my headset. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. What I would normally ask in a previous situation, is that better?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. In my current situation, I don't have to ask this question, but previously, my ultimate question is, why are you nagging all the time?
Woo. Woo.
What is wrong in your life that you got to nag me all the time? In my current scenario, I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But in the past, that's
Good.
definitely a point of contention is nagging.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. That's good. Rico, coming back at you, brother. Talk to me because that's a good one right there. Why you nag? And you know, if you ask a woman why you nag all the time, that's gonna open up the door to an argument right there. That's
Yep,
gonna
yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what, man? A lot of guys might not admit this, but they might want to know how many men she done been with in the past.
Woo. Woo.
How many notches you got on your belt?
Yeah. Yeah.
How many bodies you got?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that might be one that, you know what I'm saying, that a man is always wondering about, you know what I'm saying? If they actually had suspicions about a certain friend that she got, but he always wondered, man, I wonder if they slept together. I wonder if they ever been closer. You know, we just friends, but it's always this one guy, or maybe this one girl, her best friend.
Yeah.
Hey, you and her ever so yeah.
Y'all ever walk down that path together? Y'all ever took that walk together? Yeah.
Y'all ever been on a carpet cleaning each other carpets?
Wow. See, and that's and we got quite a few people that's actually tuning in right now. I would love to have some ladies to call in and tell us what they would think about this and how they will interact with this thing. I know we got Wanda D. She's actually listening as well. So Wanda, if you're available, give us a call. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. Let me go back to Joseph. Joseph, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh, well, I thought about if she thought, I mean, if she had a man that made more money than I made, would she be tempted even to or fantasize about having someone that make more money than I make or something? Those are some of the things that run through my mind sometimes. I know I ain't making a lot of money. You know, the best thing I can do is get a scratch off chicken.
Wow. And see, and that's the thing. There's certain questions, man. There's certain questions that, certain questions that people just not gonna ask anybody. There's certain questions that people just not gonna ask anybody, regardless of what it is, man. But some questions, man, we know we can ask them. Why you insist on watch this? Why you take so long to get dressed? Why you take so long to get ready? Man, I'm ready. I get ready in 20, 30 minutes. I'm ready to go walk out the door, and I got to still wait another hour and a half for you. Why it take you so long to get ready? Why it take you so long? You see, that's what I'm saying. But, in a normal situation, you just got to sit there pretty much and wait, man, because if you ask that question, it's going to lead to an argument. You might end up not going nowhere because, now, spoiled the move. Don't nobody want to go.
Would depend on how bad she want to go. If she want to go real bad, then you just got to sit there and deal with it. She gonna tell you, because I got to put my makeup on, because I got to get myself together. I ain't going nowhere half stepping there.
Exactly.
Because they might want to make that interest. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, if she really wants to go, then she just gonna tell you, and you just gonna have to deal with it. She ain't gonna even argue with you because you ain't gonna mess up her night.
Exactly. Ryan, talk to me, brother. Why take you so long? Would you ask that question? Man, why take you so long to get ready? Man, I've been waiting you for an hour and you still ain't ready? You still ain't ready? God. Ryan.
She usually the one asking me why I'm taking so long.
Uh-oh.
See? She over there nodding her head. I don't a lot of these issues I don't have with her. She know when we going somewhere, so she ready ahead of time. As we had that conversation 20 years ago about how many bodies you got. We had all these conversations. So now that they out the way, 20 years later, I don't have those problems no more.
See, and that's good at this stage. That's real good. But I'm gonna tell you something. Some fellas, man, some questions, fellas just won't ask. Some fellas, and we walk around wanting to know the answer. Rico, we want to know the answer to these questions. We want to know, but we got
Yeah.
enough wisdom. We got enough wisdom not to ask them though.
No, I mean, I guess it depends on what the question is and how bad it is. You want to know the answer to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know when I was younger, you know what I'm saying. I had a bad habit of asking a woman if she got hers, or how many
Wow.
times she got hers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But it was another word that I would use. Another
Yeah.
word we use. How many times did you do it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Just,
Mm-hmm.
you want to make sure you did a good job and hope they ain't faking it on.
Exactly. Exactly. Wow, Rico, you just started a whole different conversation with us, man. I saw a show. What was that on? I'm trying to remember what show it was I was looking at. But the guy they was talking about reaching a climax. I'm gonna say it that way, for keep it PG. And they say that a woman can fake it. A woman can fake it. And the man said, I can too. Now, Ryan, can a man can we fake it?
So my cat had to make his debut. No, we can't fake it. I mean, you can see it from a man and a woman, but it's way more prominent from a man and leave a mess.
Yeah,
Baby, what's wrong? Ain't nothing wrong. I'm good.
I'm all right. I'm all right.
I'm good.
I'm just tired.
It's been a long day. Been a long day.
Ain't that wrong?
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing right there. And this dude, he was saying that he could fake it. I was like, man, how can you fake it, bro? I can understand a lady, she can fake it. She can, but in some situations she can. If you know that. But like I say, in some situations she can. But Rico, how do we fake it?
Man. I guess we could probably fake it if it's stinking, act like it don't stink. You want to keep it PG, you might need to change the subject.
Yeah, look, let me go to Joseph. Then we definitely gonna switch up on this one. Joseph, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, Rico started something, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, how you gonna fake it? She gonna say, where the evidence?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We can say, yeah, like my brother said, been a long day.
Mm-hmm. It's been one of them days, baby. Been one of them days.
Yeah, can't focus, can't concentrate.
Exactly. My mind ain't right now. My mind ain't right.
Yeah.
But let me what
on the bills.
Exactly.
I got a headache.
Oh no, we don't get no headaches now. We don't get no headaches. But let me do this. And like I say, this is the Raheen Ashimi show, so we have a lot of freedoms on this particular broadcast right here, man. So Rico, I'm gonna come to you, man. What are some of the conversations that we as men should have amongst ourselves, man, so that we can build a stronger bond and look out for each other in the way that we should? What is it? What are some of the conversations that men should have with each other?
Well, if anything, if it's not going to be about a person's integrity or character, at least about his health.
Mm-hmm.
Just plain and simple as that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You keeping each other informed on, health issues as far as males go, with having prostate exams at a certain age, helping keep each other aware of what to expect. If we are in groups of people that may be older than us or younger than us, passing along that wisdom of how to maneuver in today's world. We talk about this thing called modern women, and we talk about the family court systems and how right now we have households that don't have both parents involved. It is trying to maneuver and and make that situation work with co-parenting. You know what I'm saying? That's a new thing, especially the way the system keeps evolving. Right now, you know what I'm saying? It's you have to always stay informed on what type of rights you have. You know what I'm saying? The type of different protocols involved with the agreements between co-parenting, and you know, and then on top of it, protecting children. You know, but yeah, I think as far as men go, we would have to sit back and talk to the younger men about, you know, trying to be responsible enough for their children if they don't have an opportunity to be in the same household with them.
Ryan, what do you say to that, brother? What are some of the conversations, man, that men that we should be able to come together, sit around a table, man, and have these man-to-man talks and build each other up in a way? What are some of the conversations we should have at that table?
I'm saying with Rico, health is definitely one of those. A lot of these young cats don't know about going and getting your colon checked. You know, and they, oh no, ain't nobody sticking nothing up there. And well, you gonna let somebody run the camera up there, or you gonna die. You know, you got to have those for real conversations. I spend a lot of time with the young guys at work trying to explain to them how to keep their money up. You know, we get real slow or whatever at work, and they want to dip out. I'm like, what are you doing? And then they come back, hey man, I don't know if I got enough gas to make it to work the rest of the week.
Wow.
If you'd have just stayed your behind at work and worked your full 8 hours, you had a little extra change. Stop trying to dip out and go run and chase tail or go play video games or whatever you're trying to do after work. Stay here and do your job. I always got something for you to do. You may not like to sweep the floor, but it's something that's going to keep your paycheck up.
Yeah. Exactly. Cornelius, good evening, sir. How you doing this evening?
I'm okay, man. A little tired, but all is well.
Good deal. We actually instead of doing Real Men tonight, we're doing the Raheen Ashimi show, which is only gonna be for 1 hour. We're gonna stay here for 1 hour, may stay a little longer, but our game plan is to be here for at least 1 hour, and we're talking about man talk. So right now, I'm asking the question: what is one of the Well, I'll go to the beginning with you. The first question I asked was this: what is one of the things that you would ask if you knew you could ask a female, either now or in the past or when it was? You can ask a female this question, and you won't get any feedback, any negative feedback, no argument, or anything from that question. What is the one question that you would want to know the answer to from a female?
Wow, that's interesting.
I
never heard that one before. Since I know it's only an hour, I'm trying to think of something. But what one question I would ask a female that I would want to know the answer to?
Because, you know, in normal situations, if you ask certain questions, you're gonna get an argument. But this day, you got to pass. You can ask any question you want to ask, and you ain't got to worry about it being no argument. What is that question?
Oh man. Well, I guess in I would ask her because I've asked females these questions before. What do they want out of life? Or what type of relationship what are they looking for in a man or something like that? Those are the type of questions I would ask a female that would not that you try not to get into no spat with, but just a general question about what they want out of life or what they're looking for in a man. So those are the things I would ask.
Now, what if you ask her that question and she said, I'm not going to answer that. I'm not going to answer that because if I answer that question, it's going to have you trying to act like that person that I described to you instead of being who you are.
Well, she probably wouldn't because you don't want to try to push the situation, because if a person don't want to answer the question, then ain't no sense trying to push it.
Yeah.
You know, I just be like, I'm curious, just curious to find out, you know, not trying to get with you or anything, but just to make a general conversation. Because one thing I found out in life, people like to talk about themselves. You know what I'm saying? And they don't mind telling you some things about themselves if you just want to get into a general conversation. So that's what I found out.
Okay. Okay. Now, what are some of the things that as men we sit around the table, man? What are some of the things, Cornelius, we need to talk to each other about? Man to man, have this conversation to make all of us better. What is one of the things or some of the things that we need to discuss at that round table?
You know, I find out that when you just listening to different men's conversation, you know, I'm always, you know, I'm big after a period of time and over my years of growing into an individual as a man, I found out my biggest thing is about talking about accountability. You know, asking men about, you know, being accountable for themselves and responsibility for the things of what you need to take care of, you know, just a general conversation and asking people, uh, what do you feel like you should take accountability about or the things that you need to take responsibility about, you know, just and things like that. So
okay,
that's just my general conversation.
Good deal. Good deal. Joseph, do you think finances
Yeah.
should? Do you think finances should be a part of that conversation that we're having with men?
When I'm talking to my brother at the table,
Yes.
well, no, what I try to do is affirm people. You know, I realize that everybody has, you know, their own unique challenges in life. So if I'm sitting at the table talking to somebody, I realize also that iron sharpens iron. And because of our various experiences, we all got something to share, you know. So I like to listen to people and I like to affirm their stories, you know. I like to affirm their experiences, what they've gone through, and, you know, what made them grow to be who they are. So I think that goes a long ways in shoring up, you know, that person's self-worth, self-esteem, so on and so forth. You know what I mean?
That's good.
I try not to talk too much. I try to listen.
That's good.
Because sometimes I caught myself a lot of time talking all the time as if, you know, it's about me when it's not about me. It's, you know, the person is trying to convey certain thoughts and wisdom and experience. And so if you just listen and receive and say yes or you know, affirm what they're saying, that make them feel good, you know, make people feel good about themselves. You know?
That's good. That's good. But let me ask Rico this question. Oh, as men right now in this day and time, should we be concerned about them feeling good, or should we be more concerned about them living the truth and giving them the honesty as to what's going on and or how they're messing up in this day and time?
Both. It got to be a balance in everything, because they might need some positive reinforcement. They might be in some despair or something. You know, they might be feeling down and out, you know, especially, you know what I'm saying, in this day and time where it's so hard to survive, you know what I'm saying, is like I said earlier, people having troubles with relationships, you know, yeah, you know, you have to worry about them feeling good. And at the same time, you know, you have to hold them accountable if they're doing things to sort of contribute to them feeling bad. If they, you know, they being self-destructive. If they having financial problems, but you see that they got a alcohol problem, or they like to make sure that they paying somebody bill up in Magic City, you got to call them out and let them know, you know, hey, that's what your problem is.
Yeah.
You know, you got that Magic City bill. That's stupid money. You know what I'm saying? Wasteful money. You know, they say that, you know, especially with the Black community, that we are the biggest wasteful spenders. You know, so you start thinking about, you know, having some of those conversations about what needs to be built up in the community. You know, the type of influence that they have as men. You know, are you just living your life to the point to where everybody see you as a shucker and a jiver, but at the same time you got a lot of young people looking up to you thinking that that's what it's all about, being a shucker and a jiver, or you are somebody that looks like somebody upstanding. You know, the image you portray, is it something that if you were influencing somebody, it would encourage them to be an upstanding man, a gentleman? Are you teaching young men how to be courteous? You know, are you supporting debauchery and deviant behavior? You know, that we complain about with the young generation. You know,
Mhm.
because as grown men, we have to hold ourselves accountable for the things that we did in the past. Like, you know, I
Yeah.
don't have a problem saying, you know, hey man, some of this stuff I see them doing, I'm against it now, but I was, you know, the main culprit behind it in the past. And
Mhm.
now I see
Yeah.
what the, you know, the consequences are. So, you
Mhm.
know, acknowledging that, holding yourself accountable when
Yeah.
you are part of the problem,
Mhm.
that's what, you know, something that men definitely need to hear.
And Ryan, how do we deal with, combat, and do away with the egos? Because a lot of times when you have a lot of men at the table, there's gonna be egos involved, man. Everybody got their own little ego, and they want the ego to be stroked in a certain way. We're not here to stroke the egos. We're here to upbuild and build each other up to a point where we can all walk out into the community and make a positive difference. So how do we combat the egos?
I think first you have to deal with self. If you can present yourself as humble
Mm-hmm.
in those conversations, people are more apt to listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
If you come in there all hoity-toity and puff your chest out and start telling people what it is instead of just humbly explaining the situation and
Mm-hmm.
when you elaborate on certain things, you open up the conversation more. You can't just be direct and this is how it's going to be and you're going to do it like this. You have to be humble enough to take that feedback too when you're having a conversation, and if need so, correct it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. And see, and that's a very very delicate thing, man. Because of course, Cornelius, a lot of men come with those egos, and in order to get anything accomplished or anything done, you got to combat that, man. Put them egos down. Leave them at the door. Leave them outside the door. Don't bring them in here. But how do you get men to do that?
That's a tough dude. Because we struggle that even within the church, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You we come across, and I was just saying this with my wife the other. So who's it? No, I was talking to my buddy, my good friend in Detroit, and I was just telling him one of the biggest things in the body of Christ, especially when it comes down to the Bible, we get into discussions and and we may be talking about the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
but it gets into a situation that where I know more than you, or what's the word I'm looking for? Or no, it don't say this, or it don't say that, or this and that, and we may miss one little part to where we thinking that is like this, when all actuality we're talking the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
but we're just missing one little thing to try to come on a common ground. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're trying to come with the level of humility to let people know, hey, let your brothers know, hey man, it ain't like that. You just see it like look at it this way
Mm-hmm.
and see it in this way. When I'm discussing with another guy, and it's funny, people feel how they feel,
Yes.
and they're gonna stand on what they believe in.
Mm-hmm.
Whether all and in the way they've been brought up, especially brothers, they've been brought up a certain way. They didn't experience a life situation for a certain way for such a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So when you come into that situation, you're trying to get somebody help get some more clarity on something, or see a different perspective on that situation.
Yes.
Whatever that perspective is, you're trying to bring that in to say, look at it this way. I ain't
Mm-hmm.
saying that you're wrong, but
Mm-hmm.
look at it this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do. But they'll take it as like, no, you're trying to change my mindset.
Mm-hmm.
No, I want you to see it this. Look at it this way. It can be, because it can go so many different ways. Because we're living in a broad scale society. Everybody have different beliefs. Everybody got different backgrounds. All this stuff. We're living in a big time broad society and the world that we live in, from different cultures, different backgrounds, different races, ethnicities. All this stuff, man, is coming in this boiling pot that we call the world, society. So people miss it in that point, man. So it's like, look at this perspective. I ain't trying to change your perspective. I just want you to just see it like this, and it gives you a more bigger. It enhances your perspective, and if we can come on a common ground, because the Bible says, "Come together, let us reason together."
Yes,
that's what we're calling reasoning. You know what I'm saying? But if you ain't trying to reason, then no, you will never come into a common ground with one another. That's just my thought on that.
Good deal, good deal. Let me go to Joseph. Joseph, what do you say about that, man? Men together having a conversation. How do you avoid it becoming a peeing competition? What is equal Peter for others?
Wait a minute, how do I avoid what?
It becoming a peeing competition where they're competing against each other. Instead of trying to build or lift each other up, they want to compete. They who competed for others.
Well, I just came out of a situation like this just a few minutes ago.
Wow.
And situation that involves different groups, different organizations. The leader of one organization is mad because the county or the city didn't accept her idea of a proclamation. And she mad at the brother and think he's a sellout because the white mayor accepted his wording for the proclamation. So how you bring those people together? We got brothers. Now,
wow.
I'm standing up there and I'm going to address the city commission. And yet there are some brothers who are afraid of the city officials, as if they are plantation owners or slave owners or something. I don't know. But how do I make them feel empowered and not insulted? So if I come across like, man, you need to stand up and man up, man, you need to, be a man. And don't let nobody punk you out. Well, how did they get there in the first place? So now how am I gonna get the brother to see the benefits, of standing their ground and being a man, being equal.
Yeah.
Look at people equal. Everybody. Walk like a man, talk like a man. Just like the Chinese. You don't see the Chinese mealy mouthed by nobody, do you? Chinese leaders. They're not worried about nobody. They know who they are. But they haven't had the conditions we had.
Yeah, exactly.
So now how do we come out of that condition?
I
gotta be careful. I gotta be careful. We gotta be careful. Because already somebody think they can outfit you.
Yeah.
We always compete with each other.
And see, and that's the part. That part right there. We all and see, I think that's a mindset that we've been in for too long. We've been in that for too long, Rico, because when we start saying, when we throw us in a situation and we start saying it, we always gonna compete. We putting that's too definite for me. That's too definite for me. We need to figure out a way to get out of that so we don't have to have that verbiage any longer. So we don't have to say that we always gonna do this against each other. Because that's so when you say always, that's definite. That's too definite. That's too definite for me, brother. What do you say to that?
You know what I figured out, man, is that that comes from a sense of panic. And the reason why it comes from that sense of panic, especially with males and black males, is because we feel like with opportunities being so limited that we're gonna miss out. We're gonna miss out on what we've earned or what we deserve. So that makes it easy. I mean, it's like when you think about the science behind the Willie Lynch letter and how a person would have to fight for crumbs in the society where you gotta, survive. With us, we feel like if we ain't in charge, we're gonna miss out. Our best interest is not gonna be looked out for. So it's hard for us to accept being Robin. Everybody want to be Batman. And when you got a whole bunch of Batmen that don't know how to talk amongst each other like Batman because they gonna feel like they're being second rated. They being talked down to. You don't talk to me like that. I'm a grown man. I'm Batman. I'm Batman too. But see, sometimes you got to be Robin. Sometimes this next man is better for the job or better to be the representative or the better spokesperson for whatever is being said. He's the person that can the best express what needs to happen. Or maybe they just might have the more passion. Maybe they may have the more even keel mind to be fair and just amongst everybody. And once you get a group of men together, they realize that, okay, we got to get this accomplished. Yeah, we all alpha males. But one of us really do have a gift to be able to do a Martin Luther King Jr. Bam.
Yeah.
Because behind Martin Luther King Jr. was a whole lot of Batmen.
A lot of them.
A whole lot of Superman behind Martin Luther King Jr. in their own communities, in their own organizations. They were the big dogs, the chiefs. But somewhere they had to see something Martin Luther King and just be like, oh my goodness, this joker here ain't nothing to play with.
Yeah.
I will step aside with it, submit. I'll be your foot soldier. Go ahead, King. But see, it's hard for people to do that now because the reins have gotten a little tighter. I was telling Toya one day how when I was younger, everybody would talk about how good I was at playing saxophone. But I would go to these competitions, man, and I wouldn't get first chair like I would locally. You know what I'm saying? I would get first chair in the second string or the second chair or the second set. And I'm seeing people that's so good that when other people are like praising me, I couldn't let it go to my head because I'm like, man, you think I'm good? You ought to hear so and so. But some people can't handle that. Some people can't give the next person the praise. They can't relinquish that greatness that somebody else might have better than them, especially when you fighting for these crumbs that Willie Lynch expressed. So with us, man, it's real hard for us to put that ego aside.
You know what? And this is something that I heard a pastor say years ago. He said, and it weighed on me, man. And Ryan, I'm going to come to you. I want to get your input on this. He said, people don't care how good you're doing, long as you're not doing better than them. And that's crazy, man. That's crazy. He said, people don't care how good you're doing, but once you get to the point where you're doing better than them, that's where the problem come in. Who you think you are? Why you think you, Ryan? What is that mindset, man? Ryan, we got to get out of that mindset. We really do.
Yeah, I don't know what to call that mindset. Jealousy, maybe envy. Pride has a place in that. I'll just tell this story. When I became the position I'm at now, I started as low man on the totem pole in December of 21. And by the end of January, I was promoted to lead. And by the beginning of April, I had been promoted to supervisor.
Wow,
and
that's good.
I busted my behind to get there. I learned everything that I possibly could in that facility to where I could run it by myself in 3.5 months.
Wow.
The first thing that came out of somebody's mouth who had hired in that August was, what makes him so special? Why would he get chose for that position? I've been here this long. What's he got that I don't? I didn't even acknowledge it. I just kept on rolling, but somebody else pulled him to the side. Hey man, you better watch your mouth. He the boss now. You know? And I said, it's not even about that. Like, you come in here every day, you complain, you're lazy,
Mm-hmm.
you don't
Mm-hmm.
do the work. You expect other people to pick up your slack, and now you want the boss chair. You can come take it if
Mm-hmm.
you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
That dude rolled out. He never made it that long. So
Mm.
it's, I don't know. Like, I take it back to when I was younger. It was a street mentality. Like, if I came out with the fresh new kicks, somebody was trying to fight me and take my shoes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
why you think you deserve to take the shoes off my feet, bro? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what gives you the right to be so mad about my shoes that you want them? I'm finna beat the brakes off you. Maybe I'll take
What
the
make,
raggedy clothes off your back.
exactly? What make you think I'm just gonna give it to you? What make
Yeah.
you think you know what I mean? Come on, man. What makes you think I'm just gonna give you my shoes? Really? Mm, Let me go to Cornelius. Cornelius, what's on your heart, man? And it's been said, man, people don't care how good you're doing, as long as you're not doing better than them. What kind of mindset is that, Cornelius? And how is that? How can that move anybody forward?
Well, it's let me because I wasn't gonna go spiritual on this, but I'm gonna have to because that's where it is.
Yeah.
Let me say it like this. If you really want to find all the answers of what you're asking, it's all right there in 1 Corinthians chapter 13.
Mm-hmm.
Is love.
Yeah.
It's our sinful nature in man in human society. And remember further down in that scripture said when I thought like a man, I did away with our childish thing. Remember it ended off with that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it started off talking about charity and all those different things.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the opposite of love in that was 1 Corinthians 13 talk? It's jealousy.
Yes. Yes.
Because and that's basically what it is. It's when a person is growing up in our world today and they don't have much,
Mm-hmm.
begin to get a little, but they deserve to have more, but they don't know how to have more.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
what happens is person, because they're lacking love and empathy in deeper parts down in their things in their inner bowels, that
Mm-hmm.
deeper soul man, that they don't see the fault in that because of the way they may have grew up or the things that they have experienced. So in that, when that individual come into the workforce or whatever the case, like the brother just said, what he just went through, he had the motivation and the desire to push forward to get where he got to.
Mm-hmm.
Where that other person seen that they desired to do it, but something inside them holding them back to get to that situation, to what my brother just got experienced into that position. So in saying that, that stirs up jealousy, lack of empathy or love, because they want more, but they have a hard time to getting more, and it takes more. So they get jealous of and that's willing to put forth the more effort.
Yes.
That's a lack of love and a lack of understanding.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sinful nature of humanity and what we deal with. And that's why you don't have. That's why you got brothers struggling with that situation. That's just a spiritual thought.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at 1 Corinthians 13, everything you just said really truly describes it.
Wow. Wow. And that's exactly what it is. Rico, talk to me, brother.
Oh yeah, you Joseph Good.
Yes. I'm coming.
You know, what I'm thinking of, man, is remember when you were young and everybody was getting ready to go somewhere, and you were really anxious to go, and you were afraid you were gonna get left. That feeling that you would have if they were telling you, we're gonna leave you if you don't hurry up, we're gonna leave you. That gut feeling you get, don't nobody like to get left behind. That's what happens, man, when you get left behind or when you get left out, like left out Lamont. You get what I'm saying? You know, we watch Sanford and Son. Oh, you're gonna be left out Lamont. Everybody knows what it feels like to be left out.
Yeah.
To be singled out, to miss out. And so once again, like I said, when you think about, not just in the black culture, with us feeling like we wasn't gonna be able to have and have access to, when you do have access, you feel like, okay, I better not miss this opportunity. So you know that if you have to go through that and it starts to become unhealthy or repetitive, then you can start getting to the point where you don't want to ever lose when you finally do get it. Then you get greedy. Now you're getting greedy. Now you want to make sure you get more than your share so you don't ever run out. You know, just to take it away from how black people do it, think about what Paul said about, man, imagine me watching my neighbor get $3 million in reparation. Yeah. And I'm sitting there like, you getting left out.
Yeah.
Who wants to be left out? That ain't no fun at all. You get what I'm saying? Especially when you see people benefiting. You know how that feels. Nobody wants to be left out on a good time. Nobody wants to miss out on joy. Nobody want to miss out on happiness. You know, and so when people, when the flesh that Cornelius is talking about, the flesh that is, you know, never gonna, you know, sleep until we leave here, is always gonna be desiring some type of pleasure. And nobody wants to miss out on that pleasure. They'd rather miss out on the bad times. So if you're gonna get left out, that's a bad time. So I mean, like I said, it's a franticness, you know what I'm saying, that creates that urge for you to say, okay, I ain't sharing with nobody. Because if I share with them, then when I want some, I ain't gonna have none. Yeah. It creates that selfishness, it creates that envy and that greed. But most time it comes from a lack of having access. That's what I think, or the fear of not having access.
Wow. And see, that's the thing right there, Joseph. That's the thing right there, man. That hurts us so much. We think that we're gonna miss something. We think that we gonna miss out on something. We think that the next person gonna get the biggest piece of chicken on the table. They're gonna get the big man. Why they get the big piece of chicken? Man, I'd like the big piece of chicken too. And see,
I like the backs.
Yeah. you know what I mean? And that hurts us, man. That really does. It hurts us as men. They don't care black, white, orange, polka dot, striped, or whatever you are. It hurts us as men because we compete against each other instead of coming together and making sure that our community benefits in the way, in the best way that it can.
Right. You know, I was thinking about John, the one who laid his head on Jesus' breast. He raised the ire of the other disciples, and they, you know, they were somewhat jealous because he was getting more attention. And they asked Jesus, "What about this one here?" And Jesus said, "You know, what is it to you that, you know, even if I want him to stay until I return back," or something to that effect. But I think what he meant was, don't be concerned about what someone else is getting or doing. There's something for you specifically. And it's in the doing of what your purpose is.
Yes.
So it's in there. And can't nobody get it but you. There's only one you, Raheen.
Yeah.
There's only one me.
Yes, sir.
There'll never be another one. There's only one Paul. There's only one Rico. There's not another. And so I don't have to compete with nobody else. You don't have to compete with nobody else. Now, yeah, we're in a system that has been designed so that the top gets, you know, the lion's share of the wealth of the nation.
Yeah,
that's a fact. And it don't trickle down like Reagan was talking about. That voodoo economic. It don't trickle down. That's a lie. So we're in a system, and yeah, there are some people who work real hard and they, you know, acquire a little bit more. But I shouldn't be of my brother because he labored and he worked. When I see a brother riding down the street in a big Mercedes-Benz or Escalade or whatever, man, I think about them payments he linked to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't want to be linked to it. So more power to you. I'm happy for you. I'm not gonna talk. I'm not gonna say anything negative about you. In fact, I'm gonna praise you. I'm gonna congratulate you and affirm you.
Yeah.
Because we're bigger than that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're bigger than that. And then you can't make. We can't work together if we're offending each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't need all of that. I can get it. I can get it. But I'm linked to that payment, and I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to carry that ball and chain.
Exactly.
I can get a 3-car garage house.
Mm-hmm.
I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I can do it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to be. I don't want to be linked to that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly.
I'm freer. I'm freer the way I am.
Mm-hmm. How they say it? Fly bird fly, fly bird fly. Be free.
Yeah.
Fly bird fly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, I'm free, man. I can move. I don't look. What little bit I owe somebody, I can pay it off.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I was going to go totally different. And if I say what I was about to say, it'll take the conversation in a totally different way. So I'm not going to do that. Ryan, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Affirmation is a desired but rarely unattainable skill. It's a skill.
Yeah.
To be able to speak to the, it's going to sound bad, but the least desirable of us and affirm them to bring them up a level is really a skill. I try to find the best thing I can in any individual to try to bring them up. My whole thing is thinking outside the box. And I try to take a situation that's presented to me where someone brings me something that's hurting them or upsetting them. And I try to make them see it from a different perspective, a different viewpoint. And, hey, I know this looks super negative to you, but let's take it from the eyes of this person over here who presented you with that situation. They could be doing this. And so it would be good for you to think of it in a different way. That'll bring your level of anger down, and it will make you look better because you're not running around here, oh man, I'm finna do this and do that and get all upset about this, that, and the other. It brings you back down and puts you on a level playing field, and people will respect you for that. It doesn't work all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
But I try my hardest. So, affirmation is something that is much needed in all communities, not just white, not just black. Everybody needs affirmation. You got to think in that perspective of how many homes don't have both parents, right? So they're missing a section of that affirmation from somewhere. So if you can be that person to fill the gap and take on that brunt with somebody that you see or that you know or that's having a problem, it's going to affect them in a positive way.
That's good. That's good. Rico, I want you to envision something for me for a second. What do you think it would be like if communities, I'm not going to just say any one community, but communities could come together and act like the ant?
Oh, you see positive progress. You would always see continuous positive progress and self-sustaining. You see some self-sustaining. You wouldn't see so much dependence. You see everybody doing their part in a community to make sure that they do what they need to do to survive. You know what I'm saying? To take care of all the necessary priorities. You wouldn't see a whole bunch of foolishness. You see some recreation. You probably have somebody out watching the children doing everything, but at the same time, you would still see a very forward moving community going in a direction that's going to benefit the future for the positive.
Yep. And my whole thing is, man, we all should be like the ants, man. We all should be like the ant. Cornelius, what's on your heart? It'll be a beautiful thing if we were.
That is so true, but unfortunately, Raheen, man, our world and our society is so divided, man.
Mm-hmm.
And even you can see the division within our own government. You can see the division within our own communities.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you see the division in the races, the ethnicities, all this stuff is this is part of the the sinful nature of our world that we live in. As division is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you go to the Bible, it was division in that.
Mm-hmm.
As you've seen today, like they talk about the scribes and the Pharisees. The Pharisees believed in the law. The scribes believed it, but they believed in the resurrection. But the Pharisees didn't. So they was battling against each other. Only time when they came on common ground when they came against Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Took all that for them dudes to come together so they can come against our Lord and Savior. So it's just one of those things, man. That what is going to take for what that one common thing is, where everyone will come together. And the only and I just don't see it. And it's sad that we try to, even within our churches, we try to do our best to try to bring things together, but some shape, form, or fashion, people are always looking to find fault.
Mm-hmm.
In some way or shape or form. How can you believe in this? The Bible was written by man. It was written over 15,000 and all this murmuring and complaining about this and is people in our sinful nature has a hard time coming together and trying to reason together, trying to have and I hate to sound like what they call Debbie Downer or having a pessimistic attitude because I'm really optimistic about things because of the Christ that lives in me. But I do see spiritually we are divided as a nation in some shape, form, or fashion.
Absolutely.
So what is it going to bring? What is that one common thing that we have to find that what is going to bring people together? Like even what was the whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
And I got to bring this up. Sorry if I'm about to go here. Look at the Black Lives Matter thing. The common thing that everybody got together and started protesting was police brutality.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as another black man kills another black man, where's the common thing at now where you come together?
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to do this, let's make it all if black folks don't get out there and march and stand against something, let's do it across the board. Don't just focus on that one thing. And that will bring things together that we can all move on this stuff. And that's what I'm saying, man. And we are so divided and walking in so much deception that we don't even realize it, man. And that's the sad thing about it, Raheen.
Wow.
And that's the way I see it. Bro.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, I said we was gonna be here for an hour, so we actually going to get out of here, man. But Kunesh, you just threw something out there, man. That man, I wish we had about 10 more hours to talk about it. Rico, I saw you in acknowledgement. What's on your heart, brother?
I agree. I mean, we live in a contradiction, especially in our community. It's like, we'll go to raising all kind of Cain about police killing, but then at the same time, we'll get mad when people in the community say, hey, let's stop supporting these rappers that's promoting black on black crime.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that's talking about drill music and smoking on their ops. We got some people that'll tell us, well, hey man, leave them boys alone, they making money. So, I hate to say it, man, it really takes collapse and catastrophe for people to really come together. And that's sad because even then, when things start looking good, you're gonna have somebody that's gonna have a business mindset that's gonna start thinking about capitalizing.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if we actually had a value system that was really built on being our brother's keeper, then it would be a lot easier for us to appreciate each other and then be able to allow somebody else to get praise. You remember I think I was telling you about during the time I was a union chairman. I had some friends that was, one of them was a little older than me, but we grew up together. I like this work ethic. I saw a lot of supervisor quality in him. And he didn't see it, but I seen it. I was like, man, this dude will make a good supervisor. So one day they brought this young boy in, man, and the reason why I ended up having to be union chairman because it was a lot of racist stuff going on at this job. And so they brought this young boy in, man. He was 19 years old. And within 2 or 3 weeks of him training just to do a regular job, one of the supervisors recommended him to be a supervisor. And so they put him in training to be a supervisor. He hadn't even made it off probation, didn't know none of the jobs. And so I started raising Cain. And I was like, man, did they offer you a job? No. Did they offer you a job? I said, well, who recommended him? I talked to the supervisor. He told me why he recommended him. I said, you didn't think of anybody else you could have recommended? So one of my friends, a black man, man, look at Rico. Rico always running his mouth, man. Oh, what you talking about? I'm like, man, I said they should have offered somebody else a supervisor job, man. There's too many people been here 20 and 25 years that could have been offered a supervisor job. Oh, what you trying to say? You could have been a supervisor? I said, no, fool. I think you should have been the supervisor.
Yeah.
You should have seen the look on his face. He didn't know I looked at him like that. He didn't know I had that type of respect for him. He didn't know my disappointment was in the fact that they didn't offer him the job. But see, he thought that I was doing the average thing that any other man would do, and that would be look out for myself. If I'm raising all kind of Cain at the job, it got to be something about me. It ain't about y'all. And that ended up making people want to make me the union representative. They wanted somebody that would represent everybody if they were being done wrong. But it was just funny to me that they automatically assumed that I was mad because I wanted to be supervisor. What you trying to say? You ought to be supervisor? I said, no, I'm saying you ought to be supervisor.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, how you like that? And he, man, I mean, he just had to really look at how small of a man he was compared to me. That didn't even look out for myself, but I'm thinking about you because you do deserve that.
Wow. On that note, gentlemen, it's been a great broadcast, man. It's been a great. I wish we got to do this. We got to do this again. I love how we did this and how the flow of everything went, man. What do y'all think?
I think
that was great, man. That was great. I like it.
Good deal.
That was wonderful. I get a lot out of it.
And we started one place, man, but I think we reached our destination, man, and we still got some more to cover. Man. Ryan, what's on your heart, brother? We're ready to get out of here. What's on your heart?
Nothing. It was short and sweet,
Yes,
to the point, and very fruitful. It was a very fruitful conversation.
Good deal. Rico?
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. It was sort of different, but yeah, it was straight to the point.
Good deal. Cornelius?
Yeah, man. Awesome content. How you put this together, man. I was totally surprised because you told me something different earlier. So I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. Well,
but I wasn't. But it was good though, man.
Good deal. And we actually was gonna do real man, but I wasn't sure who I was gonna be here tonight. So I said we'll just have that little short, good conversation and keep it going in that direction, man. But I love how it turned out. Let's go to Joseph. What's on your heart, brother?
Oh no, I'm in agreement. That was wonderful. The way it was orchestrated, and all the comments, man. That was beautiful.
Good deal. Cornelius, brother, can I get you to pray us out?
It will be my honor.
Yes, sir.
Father God, in the name of Jesus, we first of all want to thank you, honor you, and bless your holy and righteous name, Lord God. I thank you for my brother Raheen, Lord God, as you continue to give him the gifts and understandings and the platform to continue to allow us to come on here and talk amongst the brethren and share our different thoughts and perspectives, God. We thank you for all those things that you allow us and just allowing us to come together and reason together, Father. And I thank you for those things. I thank you for different comments and perspectives from each one of these dear brothers of mine, Father God. I pray that you just continue to touch them and strengthen them and encourage them in their each and every day of their lives and their family and wives and children and grandchildren and all those things that's connected to them, Father God. I pray that you just bless them exceedingly abundant of all that I can ask or think with the power that you have placed inside of me, dear Father. And I thank you for everything that you're doing and everything that you're going to do And Father, as we begin to leave this place, but never from your presence, as you continue to look over us and keep your angels encamped around about us, Father, I just want to continue to give you all the glory, the honor, and the praise. And I ask all these things in your mighty Son, Jesus' precious name, I pray. I say amen and thank you.
Man.
Amen. I see my daughter's watching tonight. Kia, I love you, baby. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all them hearts and stuff you gave them, flowers and all this stuff. You know I love it. You know I love it. But listen, it's been a great broadcast. You've been listening to the Raheen Ashimi Show. We don't do the Raheen Ashimi Show often. Actually, it was supposed to be Real Men Being Men. It's a time slot for Real Men Being Men, but I think it was great that we had the Raheen Ashimi Show. We're going to do this again very soon. We're going to do the Raheen Ashimi Show again very soon. Have some great topics and keep this thing going, man. Look, I'm going to tell you something, man. The gentleman that we have on here, man, I wouldn't trade him for nothing in the world. Wouldn't trade him for nothing in the world, man. I definitely appreciate each and every one of you, man. Everybody brings something different to the table, and they come from their perspectives. Like I say all the time, and I don't give anybody their opinion. Everybody have their own, and we just have a platform where we could come together and voice our opinions, our thoughts, and build. They say iron sharpens iron. That's what we do here, man. And it's been done to a way, in a fashion that we are all family. We're just family. That's what it is. We are family.
Amen.
And people come in, man. It's amazing, man, how when somebody come in to this family, man, and they be accepted into the family, and they know that they're a part of the family. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, Ryan was the last brother that came with us on that's on right now. Ryan, tell me, how does it feel, man? Can you feel the family here?
Absolutely. It was a little shy at first. Like, I'm not a shy person, but being a white guy walking into a predominantly,
you're not white.
walking into
He a light-skinned brother.
Exactly.
He's a blue-eyed soul brother.
But yeah, man. I mean, you guys welcome me in. I got phone numbers. I never expected people to, hey, hit me up. Me and Rico talk. Me and Toya talk.
Yes.
Me and Brother Hicks talk. And it's nice. It's welcoming, and I feel at home.
There you go.
It's not often where I stay at now that I get conversation like this, and get to feel like how when I grew up. I'm not used to being around a whole bunch of white folks, so it makes me feel more at home.
Good deal. And that's just a testament, man, of what God has provided here, man. He's laid out the platform, and like I said again, man, we're family. I see Rico. I see you down there, brother. What's on your heart?
Oh no, I was just laughing, man.
Okay, good deal. Well, it's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. More than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Raheen Ashimi Show for being a part of your evening. It is now, 9:14. You're about to exit the Raheen Ashimi Show. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple, I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. That we're about to exit the Raheen Ashimi Show. Have a great evening. Love you. Take care of each other. Give somebody some love, and I promise you, you'll get some love in return. Have a great evening, y'all. Love you. Talk to you tomorrow morning. God say the same.